Hello everyone, it is December the 13th, 2018. Today I read in Psalm chapter 24, and this chapter is, it's only 10 verses long, and the whole chapter is just really great. And I don't know. I love this chapter, and so I'm glad I was able to read it this morning. So I'm going to read the whole chapter because, like I said, it's just 10 verses long, and then I'm just going to, kind of highlight and reiterate what it already says in some places. So here we go. Starting in verse 1. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord, or who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive the blessing from the Lord, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob, Selah. Lift up your hands, O ye gates, and be ye lift up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord of hosts, he is the King of glory. Selah. It's almost like David was having a new revelation of who God was. And of course, David had been through so much, and he knew who God was. He knew what God was capable of, but it was like he woke up and, or something, I don't know what the circumstances was around him writing this particular psalm. All I know is that it's like, what I get from it is that something happened, and it's almost like the joy of his salvation was renewed. It's like, oh yes, I remember that, everything is already God's. He's already got everything. The earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. He founded it. He created it. And then, he's like, lift up your heads. Everybody look. Lift up your hands. Lift up your heads. Everybody look and see. Seek his face. And then he starts saying, who is this King of glory? He is the Lord, strong and mighty, mighty in battle. He's the one that'll fight for you if you let him. He's the one that if you will come to him with a clean heart and let's see, what does it says? With clean hands and a pure heart, and you don't have your soul lift up like you're too good for God or whatnot, that that he will fight your battles for you. And this, in just 10 verses, it really just sums up God, who he is. In verses 1 and 2, it's God. He created and made everything, established everything. Verses 3 and 4 talks about, who can go before the Lord, and, what you need to do. You have to have a clean hands, pure heart. You have to humble yourself, in other words. What happens, verse 5, what happens when you do humble yourself and you go before God? It says, he shall receive the blessing of the Lord and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is what happens when we accept Christ. And then verse 6 saying, when you seek him, this is a generation that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob. This is what happens when you seek him, and he's saying from verse 7, uh, lift up your heads and see who this person is, from 7 on down through verse 10. Lift up your heads and see who he is. See that this is the King of glory, that he is the Lord mighty in battle, that there's nobody mightier than him. There's nobody stronger than him. There's nobody above our God. And it's like, I don't know, it's like he got a dose of joy in the Lord when he wrote this psalm. And I don't know what you're going through today, but I'm hoping that, that you'll take a minute and read these 10 verses for yourself and see if you can't get a little bit of that joy back for you today. And I just thought it was awesome. Like I said, I love this chapter. But just remember, God, if you'll go to him, can fight whatever battles, no matter how big or small we think they are. And all you have to do is humble yourself before him and go to him and, admit, Lord, I can't take care of this, but you created me. You created everything, and you know what I'm going through, and you can take care of this for me, and just give it to him and let him be the King of glory in your life. Hope you enjoyed this study, and I will see you tomorrow.